I'm sorry.
And you can fill out the form after your
Oh,
comment.
I see, okay. So, Marcy, would you like to come forward and speak?
Yeah, I'm Marcy Schatzman. I'm a freelancer for the Boca Raton Tribune. Will you identify the pilot? Will anyone ever identify the pilot?
That'll be FAA and NTSB as their analysis of the incident unfolds.
It's been in the newspapers, by the way.
Yes, they've been identified,
Yeah,
all
the
three.
three.
All three.
Three have been identified.
Yeah, three, but not the pilot was identified.
Oh, we don't know who the pilot is yet.
Correct. There were two pilots on board, and who was flying the aircraft.
I didn't know that, okay.
Anything else, Marcy?
Yes, I'm confused about the question on the phone. Was that the other member of the board?
Yes.
Mr.
Mr. Nobles is out of the country, and yes,
Okay.
participating telephonically.
I got the impression that that was a private pilot, but who had a hangar here. But then you said that he was active in the Pilots Association, which I know exists.
Yes.
So which was it? Was it a business?
No, I'm not sure that he was a business. Had a business. I'm not aware of that. He kept a hangar here, P hangar.
Okay, so it was a private person who had...
Correct.
Thank you very
That's
much.
my understanding, but again, FAA and NTSB will issue a preliminary report within 30 days.
Yes,
That will have some facts, and they may identify the pilots then, but we'll wait to see.
Why were there two pilots?
They're family members.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome, Marcy.
Those are my only questions. Thank you very much for answering them.
You're welcome. Item 5, consent agenda. No items to report this evening. Item 6, federal, state, and municipal input.
There is none.
Item 7, financial. Mitch, please introduce the report.
Hi, everybody. The March finance report. Due to the timing of the March financial report, an estimate was used for fuel revenue, as we didn't receive the fuel reports on time. You should have in front of you an updated copy of the report that includes the actual fuel numbers. And I did review the detailed report for March and found everything in order. I also wanted to point out that we are now halfway through our fiscal year. Our annual financial audit has been completed and is currently under review. The audit will be presented at next month's meeting, and I'm going to turn this over to Robert Abbott for the March finance report.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Vogel. So in your package is the finance report through March 2025. As you can see, the total operating revenues are approximately $4.3 million, and that's 5.6% budget year to date. And due to our flowage and customs revenue that's seasonal in nature. Total operating expenses are approximately $2.5 million. That's down about 22% to budget, and that's due to the timing of some of our different projects that will be occurring in the next couple months here. Some lower legal expenses due to some of the litigation costs as well. With that, net income before depreciation is about $1.8 million. So on behalf of Airport Management, Treasurer, we respectfully present the March financial report to the authority.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the March 2025 financial report? Second?
I'll second.
Yep, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 8, tenant reports and requests. Item A, Civil Air Patrol. Claire, please introduce our speakers.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As you'll may recall, we had a representative join us in October, and because of the small nature of the conference room, we were not able to accommodate additional members of the CAP. So they have asked to join you this evening to speak to you about some of their current initiatives. There's some new leadership there. And I think that we also have two cadets that I'd like to introduce. So I'd like to introduce Eamon Russell, the squadron commander, and I believe that Karima Holmes. Joe is not with us today, is he?
No, you are.
So Karima Holmes and Eamon Russell. And we have two cadets, Alexander Holmes and Rebecca Holmes.
Great.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. Like was said, my name is Eamon Russell. I'm the squadron commander over at the Boca Raton Composite Squadron here on the Boca Airport. Just a little bit about myself. I joined Civil Air Patrol 2010 as a cadet member, like my cadets in the back. Stayed on. This will be my 15th year. I'm now an adult member. Outside of Civil Air Patrol, I work for Broward County Sheriff's Office as a K-9 handler. I work in firearms and aquatic detection K-9. So Civil Air Patrol is my passion. I absolutely love it. I'll do this till I'm old and decrepit and they can't let me go anymore. I just wanted to come up here and absolutely, we have had a change in leadership Joe Martin did move on to our region level, so he's at a much higher, more complicated level than I care to ever be at. I love being here. I just wanted to thank the board again for their continued support of the squadron. I handed out a kind of a snapshot of what we've done over 2024 into this year, with an emphasis on the 35 cadets or young people that we were able to get up in our aircraft that's stored here at the hangar. It is a tremendous opportunity, and really, we are super grateful for having the ability to get to store the aircraft here and to get those cadets up in there. Most of these kids that come up have never been in an aircraft before, much less seen one. So the ability that we have to get these kids up on their first flight, like I got up in 2010, which spurred my love for aviation and, the Civil Air Patrol program, it really introduces them and gets them exposed to the world of aviation and what it's like to be in Civil Air Patrol. Additionally, as the main focus of that handout, our aircraft was able to participate recently down in Homestead at the Homestead Air Reserve Base in a NORAD exercise where we pretended to be, or we played as a aircraft that violated restricted airspace and allowed those NORAD pilots to be able to rehearse and go through all of their procedures in intercepting those aircraft whenever they very regularly have VIP guests, whether it be the president, high-profile individuals at that base where that airspace becomes restricted, as it normally does here when the president is up at Mar-a-Lago. So we've been able, again, having the ability to have the aircraft stored here, we have, again, not only just given back to those kids in the community, but our mission is much broader, and we're helping, a number of different organizations. So I want to continue our relationship. I know I've worked with a number of the staff to get the squadron out doing, airport cleanups, supporting your back-to-school events, the food drives, toy drives, and I want to continue and strengthen that relationship. And obviously, I want you guys to see more of my face. I want you to get annoyed with me. I provided you all with my business card. I've got my personal phone number and my best email. I am a cop. I do work at night, so I'm dead to the world before noon. So text me. It's always best. But feel free to call me at any time. If I don't answer, I will absolutely make a point to call you guys back and respond to your email. Does anybody have any questions of me? Anything you need clarification on?
No, but thank you for coming by and chatting with us and putting a new face and some new vibrancy and enthusiasm. Welcome to all of your constituents who may be behind me.
Yeah.
Just to emphasize one more point, this is the Holmes crew back here. So our squadron is really, not just a bunch of individual people. It is a family affair. We've got a number of families that have joined all together, both parent and young person. So we are really grateful to have the ability to be out here on the airport, and it's really making an impact. So thank you all so much.
Thank you, Major Russell, and you're an excellent public speaker, by the way.
Yeah. It's good to be able to talk in a normal tone.
Thank you. Item B, Atlantic Aviation sign approval request. Travis.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Management's received a request from Atlantic Aviation to replace the monument sign out on Airport Road with a new modern LED internally lit one. It's also reflective of the latest corporate branding from Atlantic Aviation. And as a reminder, the signature one per sign code, they get tentative approval from our board, and they have 90 days to get a permit filed with the city and approved by them, and they bring back for final approval by us after the city permit is approved. We got a gentleman from Atlantic here if we want to discuss, and otherwise, Airport Management recommends approval of Resolution 040825. Sign for Atlantic Aviation.
Is there a motion to approve the sign request?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item C, Atlantic Aviation request to consent to use and occupy agreement with FlightPath Aviation USA. Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The item before you is a consent to lease and use with FlightPath USA. As you mentioned, they are primarily a Part 91 aircraft management company and also a chartered company originally based in Canada. They're now moving down into the States with the acquisition of Desert Jet, which is a separate entity. They will be occupying Hangar 6, which is one of the new hangars that is currently under construction. Should be up and running by, I believe, October, is the last I saw. So they'd be looking to move in after that. We've met with the principals of the company and Atlantic Aviation. They meet the majority of the minimum standards, particularly the ones that we typically have difficulty with, such as hangar space and office space. There is a little ambiguity that we are working through with the proposed tenant and legal regarding the ownership relationships between the three different entities and the actual tenant that will be signing the lease. So that's the only thing that needs to be resolved, and I'm confident, based on our conversations, that we'll have it wrapped up fairly shortly. But with that being said, Atlantic would like to go ahead and get the lease executed. So we would like to request a conditional approval of the consent to use and occupancy agreement pending those issues being resolved to legal satisfaction. And that would be resolution number 0409-25.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Garrity or for Scott?
I have a question.
Yes.
Is this company a subcontractor to Atlantic, or does Atlantic own or have ownership in Flight Path, or how's the relationship?
I know, so I'm one of the owners.
Excuse me.
I know.
And just introduce
State your name.
yourself, please. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. My name is David Shaver. I work with Flight Path. I'm one of the owners of the company. Grew up in the business. We've been in business about 19 years. We're owned by two individuals, myself and Robert Brunemeyer, who's met the airport but couldn't be here tonight. I'm also a pilot. We run about 20 aircraft, mostly heavy aircraft, Global 7500, Global 6000, bunch of Phenom 300s. We're a current tenant at Atlantic currently, and originally I'm from Toronto. That's correct. We are Canadians, although I'm a U.S. citizen. I moved down here a number of years ago. I live in Boca, and really we have quite a few clients that are interested in basing their aircraft at Boca and have been for some time. So the allowance for these new hangars has been an exciting initiative for some of our customers as well as us. So we're pleased to be able to finally say that you can move your aircraft over to Boca, closer to where you live. So one of our first aircraft we're hoping to have in the hangars a Global 6000, and with really two more of that size aircraft and maybe a Phenom 300 or two, the hangar will hopefully be close to occupied. So we're hopeful for that, and just a little bit about our business. But yeah, we're two individuals. We're not owned or related to Atlantic, other than we're a current tenant of Atlantic.
Okay, thank you. Nice airplanes.
Sir, would there be any increased hiring to handle the extra work or more jobs created?
Correct. We anticipate we're likely going to have between 4 and 8 staff coming on when we take possession of the hangar. As time goes on, we'd love to possibly expand as well if there's more hangar space available. But between 4 and 8, I'd say 24 months in, we're hoping to be around maybe 10 to 15 further employees, aside from pilots. So flight crew, we could have in the area between 10 and 20 flight crew kind of relocating, but on airport staff, 10 to 15 within about 24 months.
Any other questions? Thank you, gentlemen. Is there a motion to approve the sublease?
Motion. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 9, Executive Director and Staff Reports. Item A, Operations and Noise Abatement Report for March 2025. Leon.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good evening, Leonel Romero, Operation Coordinator. Before you is the Operation and Noise Abatement Report for March of 2025. During the month of March 2025, there were 8,339 operations, which is a 4% increase from the operation for March 2024. Since the presidential inauguration in January 2025, we had 8 VIP TFR have been implemented over Mar-a-Lago, resulting in a total of 4,585 operations. During the 2025 weekend of St. Patrick's Day, operation increased by 17% due to the TFR compared to previous year. In March of 2025, there were 1,899 operations under this TFR, total operations for the TFR. And the busiest VIP TFR weekend in March 2025 happened between the 28th and 30th with a total of 517 operations. Jet A delivery were up by 34% compared to February 2024, and Avgas delivery were up by 52% compared to February 2024. There were 13 households that filed noise concern in March of 2025, which was from the Noise Online and the Online Noise Reporting Form. During the month of March 2025, Customs had 378 aircraft clearance, which is an increase from the 266 aircraft total clearance from during March of 2024, and there was no vessel clearance. Last month saw the most operations in the Customs facility open in 2018.
Yeah.
Of those operations, 1,900 passengers cleared, which is the highest passenger count signed the facility open in 2018.
Fantastic, yeah.
These 378 aircraft arrived from 24 different countries, and there were 77 after-hours clearance in the month, of which 44 occurred on days when the facility is normally closed. And an extra data for the OPS report is the observation area visitor count. Between the weeks of March 14 and April 11th, the observation area received a total of 1,486 visitors.
Wow.
This reflects an average of approximately 370 people per week, and indicating a steady engagement with the community. And that concludes the operations report for the month of March 2025.
Very good. Mel?
And then you talk about all the people at the AOA, we're clearing, Customs is over 10 airplanes a day now. It's amazing. Absolutely phenomenal. I love it.
Some of the increase in the Customs numbers is because during the TFR weekends, the General Aviation Clearing Facility at Palm Beach is closed, so no one can clear there. That's where the park airport is.
Still, amazing numbers.
And there is not a TFR this weekend, right?
Not as of yet.
Which is
You haven't
good
heard
news
yet.
so far, because in past Easter weekends, it's very crowded out there, so.
Oh, yeah.
The FBOs would love the breather.
Yeah.
These clearances, are they staying here or are they dropping and go?
We really don't have too much insight into that. I don't think the entire increase that we're seeing would normally be coming here. But in order to relocate back to Palm Beach, if that's where they're based, they would have to go to one of the gateway facilities, which would be Fort Lauderdale or Orlando are the closest gateway facilities.
But we can try to identify, that's a great question, but we suspect that most of them are staying here, they're not dropping goes because for that reason. If they're going to PBI, they come here. But we can try to do a little bit of analysis on that and see.
But we have
No.
space.
My knocking around the airport, Gene, so far Atlantic and Signature haven't had to do stop and goes. We haven't run out of room yet. Am I correct? Come close.
I've been on the tug, so.
Huh? It's been tight.
I've been making space.
Sorry?
I said, I've been on the tug making space.
I know, I've seen you.
Well, as you may remember, we do have some procedures in place that we implemented with FAA and with the FBOs, so that when we see that the FBOs are starting to get towards gridlock, we can implement certain slowdowns, so, management flow of traffic. But also, there have been occasions when the ramps have had to close to arrivals because there's nowhere to put them.
So far, we've been able to hold on, so far.
Yes, I have to say that, as I've previously reported, that based on the coordination that we were able to get this time around from FAA and the two FBOs, we've all learned a lot from the last time, this season went a little bit more, significantly more smoothly than the first season in 2017 when we were caught by surprise.
What's the latest that they can issue a TFR for, let's say, like Friday? Is it like a few hours before or any time? I mean, what?
Their call.
The president.
Their call.
So the president
Actually extended their last.
You have to have a certain period of time to get the word out? I mean, how does it?
I think they can implement them fairly quickly. They prefer to have more coordination, but in our initial discussions with FAA, they're basically at the whims of the president.
Wow.
The last TFR, they actually extended it by a couple of hours at the last minute. I don't know if he was getting in an extra round of golf or what, but that has been known to happen.
Interesting. Very good. Thank you so much. Item B, Quarterly Safety Management System Report. Hannah, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Before you, there it goes, is the quarterly SMS report for the first quarter of 2025. I'd like to preface this report. I know you mentioned during the previously quarterly report that you wanted to see more heat maps and more historical data. We are working on that. I just heard back from our EPIC team that we will have a preliminary idea of what that will look like on Friday. So hopefully by the next quarterly report, we'll have a little more colors for you and some more historical data. But during this past quarter, okay, there we go. We had 147 facility inspections and 184 airfield inspections. And we also had 4 EMAS inspections and 4 PAPI inspections. We are missing a set of those EMAS and PAPI inspections, and that was because they were conducted in Q2 of 2025. We issued 24 work orders. Of those 24, we completed 21. And 17 of those work orders were conducted in the airfield, and 7 of those were facility work orders. Not my friend today. During the past quarter, I'm going to go ahead and correct this, we had 2 Alert 2s and 1 incident of aircraft damage at Alert 2. There was a duplicate that we just discovered recently. There's just a duplicate of that aircraft damage. So we had 1 incident of aircraft damage and 2 Alert 2s. We also had 8 bird strikes, 2 incidents of trespassing, and 1 general incident. During the month of January, our AWAS underwent its annual inspection. Airport staff attended a meeting hosted by the FAA to discuss upcoming TFRs at the time. That event was hosted up on PBI. Airport staff also hosted FBO management to discuss upcoming TFRs and flow control concerns and align in an approach of how to go ahead and tackle this moving forward. We also went ahead and underwent a full conversion at the air traffic control tower. All the overhead lighting is now LED. In February, the airport staff hosted the police department for some training. We also went ahead and updated our airfield lighting control monitoring system and now tied it into our new generator direct vault. And in March, a survey was conducted to identify the locations of both Burrowing Owl and Gopher Tortoise burrows ahead of the stormwater project. And also at the very end of March, we went ahead and published our semi-annual SMS newsletter. And that concludes the quarterly SMS report. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Yes, Dean.
You mentioned that there were 2 trespass incidents. Can you tell me where they took place on the field?
They took place at Atlantic Aviation, and both incidents were the same person.
Anything else for Hannah? Thank you so much. Item C, Quarterly Community Engagement Report. Mr. Abbott.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I would just like to turn it over to Evan Henderson with Garth Solutions, and he'll offer.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and board members. It's my pleasure to present the quarterly community engagement report. We are reporting from January to March. And so I'll go over some of the top analytics with our website. We had about over 33,000 views. This ranges average compared to the last quarter. homepage definitely being the top hits of pages. On social media, we saw a significant increase in engagement compared to the last reporting period. This period, we saw 7,674 engagements across all platforms, which is a 25% increase compared to the last period in Q4 of 2024. We also had a significant more video views because we published more videos. So the community was engaged online. Some of the top posts that we have were related to the observation area and a throwback post of Air Force Two visiting the Boca Raton Airport in 2000. There were a handful of outreach events in this period, namely the Boca Chamber Diamond Awards luncheon that the airport attended, along with two aviation or build days, one being with aviation and one being the Women's Build for Habitat with Humanity. The airport also participated in the Spirit of Giving community race. One of the celebrations that we have was the airport observation area opening. I don't want to go into too much more detail since we had a report last week. Continuing forward, we have some general marketing. We had a couple of ads that were placed via print, some digital graphics, collateral related to the observation area, and a customs brochure. We also had the SMS newsletter, as Hannah mentioned, the K-12 activity packets, and a set of promotional binoculars for the observation area. In the first quarter, we continued to implement the marketing campaign or the marketing strategy that we have. Just a reminder of our goals are to expand and strengthen stakeholder relationships, boost airport brand and community connection, and then establish the airport's brand as an industry expert. And these three goals really guide our tactics, guide what we're doing, so that we're making sure that we're accomplishing these three goals. In this quarter, we continued to push forward the FAA award that the airport won. I'll have a couple slides later that showcase the media outreach that we received from this, but we produced a video and a couple social media posts. We've also been preparing for Safety Week, which will happen later in June. The K-12 activity packets are tied to the observation area promotion, and we've been continuing to research options for a digital guest book for the observation area. One of the challenges that I think that we're facing is finding the correct solution for software for this area and just imagining what we will actually implement, making sure that the vendor is going to be nice and sound for the purposes of this guest book. Also, starting in Q1, we started to plan out the crisis communications protocol. The training will carry over into Q2. The airport's been diligent to be proactive about this protocol and continue the training. We've also developed a concept of tenant talks that will be hosted biannually, focused on tenants, specifically for airside tenants and for landside tenants. They engage them in the best way possible to learn about updates for the airport that they're going to have that's important to them, as well as receive feedback to learn more about the engagement that they are interested in. In quarter two, we have a couple of initiatives planned. Those related to the economic impact or development. We are going to be tying into the customs campaign that will be produced in quarter three. And so the first two that you see here, Economic Development Agency Outreach Plan and Economic Development Impact Campaign, we're going to be taking that as messaging and formulating that into the customs campaign because the customs facility does generate quite a significant amount of economic impact, and we want all stakeholders to learn about this, to know that those services are available to them to use.
And, excuse me, when is the anniversary of the customs facility coming up?
2018.
May?
Yes, it's May 31st of every year, and the 10th will be 2018.
Oh, okay. Wow, 10 years, yeah, gotcha.
We'll be here before we know it.
Continuing on, we have the tour policy.
2028. I can't do math.
Policy and visitor experience, reputation monitoring strategy.
Do math.
And then we also have as a lower priority, outreach to local industry groups, that we will be presenting to the airport. A couple of media features that we were able to pick out by pitching to local networks was the FAA win, and so we could see a couple of publications through the Tribune and another aviation publication. WPBF also published something related to Black History Month and a look back at the airport's history with the Tuskegee Airmen, and so that was quite an interesting feature that we were able to connect the airport with. And that concludes the report for this quarter. Are there any questions?
Anything for Evan? Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it. Item D, projects update. Travis.
Thank you again, Mr. Chair. We started off with this building. As you can see, we're not quite done yet. Today was actually an inspection for drywall, so hopefully that went well. We can start to installing some other things, including some paint. They did finish one of the rooms in the back, and they started some tile work for the shower in the back. So we hope to have us some fully functioning partitions this time next meeting. So fingers crossed that that happens on time. Next one would be stormwater improvements and access road widening. This is actually just kicked off this week. I'm sure we can see they parked the tractors out of view, but they've been, this is previous to it, looks like doing some sampling at the bottom of the, where this thing wants to point. This is Monday, the first actual, any type of breaking ground on it, so we are regrading the swales and widening the access road to actually be able to get anything larger than a pickup truck down it. So that fits. Phase one is the road widening, and Anna already showed you some pictures of the Albro identification and the biologist prior to this. Also, part of this will be the undergrounding of two of the swales out on Airport Road to hopefully facilitate their use of a different purpose in the future. Yeah, there we go. So I just started to compact out the flat area there will be the new lane width for the access road. So a little easier time having it. And transition to that part. I didn't even hit a button, okay. And rolling into that also is our AWAS replacement, so the automated weather observation system. The current system is getting increasingly difficult to maintain and it's reaching the end of its lifespan. Part of this replacement will also be in conjunction with the stormwater improvements because they're building a peninsula out in the swale here to house the new location of all the sensors. Due to the fact the current location gives a little bit of erroneous wind readings at the height. So it is being relocated to ground level, and that project went out to bid at the beginning of the month and closes at the end of the month. Hopefully have some good activity on that. Next one up is our taxiway geometry enhancements. If you want to, yeah, there we go. Won't name all of them, but basically we are the ones that have not previously been touched as far as steering geometry widening to bring up the current taxiway guidelines from the FAA advisory circulars. And also several of them are getting rehabilitated. They've reached the point in their lifespan where the asphalt's worn enough to necessitate that. And I will be touching on the FAA grant for that next. So, but also don't have too many other photos for the plans. Noise exposure map update, that is currently, we planned a technical advisory committee scheduled for May 20th, and a board workshop held the following day to discuss the findings.
Actually, due to some scheduling issues, that meeting is being moved by a month, so it'll likely happen around the board meeting in June. But we will update you when we have that date in the calendar.
Apologies for that. Next, the sustainability management plan. Board members have been privy to the workshop we've had in the past on that, and that is nearing completion and finalizing all the data collected, and they're hopefully deliver the final action plan with that here very soon. And the last couple photos would just be touch on Atlantic Aviation the hangars are actually looking like hangars now, if you drive past on the highway. So it's the method for hanging all the roof girders. That's the first one they put up, if you want to hit the next, yeah. So we have a trio of cranes working in conjunction with a bunch of boom lifts to hold everything together. So they have just now started, if you want to hit the next one, right? Yeah. The other one is up with the roof, and they're now starting to put all the exterior metal cladding on everything. So that is progressing relatively smoothly, and hopefully have some type of occupiable space in the near future for that. So, and then move on to the next phase. It's going to be real fun for you guys. We're planning. So that concludes this project's update. And we'll take any questions on anything.
Anything for Travis? And then, let's see, we're doing item E, right? Taxiways. That's your next one? Or item E?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great.
Again, and then dovetailing into the previous, on the project's update, this is the taxiways, Bravo 1, Bravo 2, Bravo 5, Bravo 8, Poplar 3, and 9. There's geometry enhancements, FAA grant application, acceptance and approval. We are applying for an FAA grant for the design portion of this project. We have already negotiated a task authorization with one of our consultants, and that acceptance is pending the delivery of the FAA grant. So they're putting together a grant application package. So this would be authorizing executive director to accept the grant when it is offered. So.
Okay.
And the amount?
Motions.
What's the amount there?
That would be in the amount of $150,000, and would cover 90% of the design costs, with FDOT and BRAA splitting the other 10.
Any questions for Travis? Looking for a motion to approve the recommendation?
So approved.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. License agreement, item F, Florida Power and Light. Travis, please continue.
Thank you again. Please, if the board remembers, we came before you to present a license agreement with FP&L in the November meeting of 2024. FP&L has since come back with some amended language for the agreement that is now their standard boilerplate. So upon review by legal counsel, it found to be acceptable. So this is a lot of wares and different changes, but nothing actually changes on the agreement itself as far as what's in the ground and holds. So that being said, management recommends resolution 041025 executing the attached agreement.
Motion to approve the license agreement. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Travis.
Thank you.
Item 10, authority board member requests and reports. Going around.
Thank you for a great job on the accident. That's really a shame. Very sad about that.
Anything, Mel or Jean?
No.
Randy, you got anything else to add there, bud?
Nope. Thank you all.
Very good. Enjoy your travels. Anything else from you guys? Okay. Item 11, public comment. Florence, anything? None? Oh, yes.
Are there any stats on very popular, you know what, observation, so-called?
I think we I think Lionel delivered some of those. Yeah.
It's roughly 300 a week is what we're seeing.
We can get that to you, Marcy. Lionel made that presentation, but it wasn't part of the report, so we'll get you those numbers.
Yeah, we're very happy.
Oh, yeah.
Any other business to come before the board? Next meeting is scheduled for May 21st, 2025 at 5 p.m. Looking for a motion to adjourn. Meeting adjourned.